what I said. 3, 2,
Oh,
your mom.
God. I am not on a good hearing day today.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyways, it's time.
Let's go. It's Steel Samurai time.
Oh no, it's Miles. Edward.
Eggworth.
The court is now in session for trial of Mr. Will Powers.
Prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, you open the statement, please.
The prosecution will show both the court that 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, kills fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio One Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
I see. Very well. I would like to move on to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
First, I would like to call a familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you could briefly describe this case with court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. Security lady that works at the studio was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Oh, I vibe with this music so hard. Then after lunch, fuck. Take some gumshoe, pal. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear was found lodged in the victim's chest. Fuck. Yeah, the samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again?
Nah, too long.
I think I can probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Your Honor, League of Legends.
Yeah.
This case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at this guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand.
This will be your funeral. He's gonna regret this so badly.
Will the witness declare her name?
Wait, does it mean I was oldbag?
Oh God, I hate that sprite. I want,
Do you want me to voice her?
die. No, I voice her.
My, aren't you a handsome fellow?
My throat's going.
I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
He physically recoiled from that.
He took damage. He took psychic damage.
Just from that alone, he's just like starts coughing up blood.
Yes.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie. No need for you to be embarrassed. You just call me Grandma.
Your name, please. He's having a mental breakdown already.
Seems Edris has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Okay,
Phoenix, you unempathetic
my
shit.
throat is still kind of torn up from earlier doing D&D. I'm gonna be honest. I think I might need to do old bag.
Doing what?
I think I might need to do old bag. I'm gonna be honest, because my throat's still torn up from earlier. You okay with that?
Do you want me to give her like a voice
No.
or what?
Nah, you can just. You don't have to. There's a reason I have tea with me.
Wendy, oldbag, dearie.
Yeah, that works.
They just called me Grandma. It's like, oldbag, but really, that was just my name. And then I fuck with my name, you believe? And that was the captain. And she's
Chess Club Junior High, Jesus fuck.
Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Please, shut up.
That's actually one of Ace Attorney anime bloopers. It's just detective! Shut the fuck up!
Objection to say. The witness will refrain from rambling on stage.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
No, the witness will state position at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, say I was.
When you get to the scene of murder, someone will have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
He's like afraid to ask another question. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
Sure is one hell of an old bitch.
Over what?
Old bitch.
Yeah.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m.
I'm giving her like a fucking old witch voice.
Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant, then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Wait, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now time for my brain to start burning.
Go.
Nick.
Oh shit. I forgot. Forgot who was voicing my sorry.
Nick. Doesn't she seem like she's enjoying this a little too much?
Windbag loves gossiping about other people's misfortune.
Can't she get her kick somewhere else?
Sorry, her drug dealer is out of town. Jeez.
Stop and save states.
straight, old bag. Miss.
Does, yeah, you're gonna cut out. Or is that my end?
It's old bag.
Uh,
Oh shit, sorry.
I think
Hold on, let me
that's
reconnect my
I think
internet real
that's my
quick.
old-
It's doing
my
good.
end.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes,
The
okay.
music stopped, you know, something's off when the music stops. At least I picked that up so far.
Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. Where is this exactly?
No, Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
Yeah. Well, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. What?
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. I was probably born like 100 years ago.
No one in this court is accusing you of madness or witness.
He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. And you're not.
However, you're not proof that the person who spoke is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
The old man. Of course I have proof.
What?
Huh?
Even Edward is surprised.
The prosecution.
Even
would like to ask
Speedwagon is
the old-
afraid.
The witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
I know everyone would be so. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
At least Gumshoe knows his evidence. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edward speechless. She's good.
Are sure about your proof then?
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he has sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Vina Humana, let's go.
That morning, but she only arrived at 1.
Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me.
You weren't exactly where you do
observing. Just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then. Trip and fall.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh.
Sorry, I thought I read it all.
So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better.
I kissed it where it hurt.
Ma'am,
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Then.
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
you may continue your testimony.
Still, you can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers.
Yes, but only Mr. Powers orders what I've been dragging his leg.
He has a point. Does seem quite likely that it was Powers.
There's got to be more to this. I'd better keep pressing her. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured.
Does look like he was dragging his foot.
See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper.
The ankle badly sprained.
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot, okay. You broke a prop.
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear. The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Yeah.
Whippersnapper.
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You three always running about other places enough to make line water cry. Nah, 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 nah.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Irish has made us match.
I love that spray.
He's like, ooh. Look me, Goofy.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there's one thing that bothers me.
Which is...
Where is
Which
this
is?
Steel Samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. I love that spray. It is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor?
Objection!
Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
Defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Campbell. Now consider that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true?
Yes.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So, no one else went to the studio. Never have to be a Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Are you sure?
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the witness.
Right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy. It's gonna have a mental breakdown.
Old Wendy sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. This is an actual line in this game.
Just wait till I get to the attention whore line.
Oh my god, I forgot about the intentional one.
Old Wimback has a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking past by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking. Right. What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention...
How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? You have donuts. I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts.
Who can blame donuts?
Yeah, it's the donut, damn, dude. No judging.
Wait.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow.
It clearly contradicts.
Yeah, I think.
Listen to the sound of your embarrassment. Are you sure?
I did not mean to. That was an accident.
Well, we can watch Edgeworth get demoralized again.
Yeah. No one else went there. This is... I'm just gonna be trying things to save Scummy.
Yeah, have fun.
Nope. Game, stop making me use my brain. I hate you. The only person before then was Will Powers. And unfortunately, the time does line up. here's the thing. The panel. The panel. Well, the vent. The grate was removed.
Yeah, but we don't have the grade as an evidence thing, so. I think I made a pro wrestler. Or at least someone that looks vaguely like a pro wrestler slash gymnast.
Ah. All the music stopped.
Hold on. What did you present? Look at this. Look at this photograph.
We both had the same idea.
One more time.
One more time.
Photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sir, it is, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Lady, I'm going to put you in a hole in the ground.
I do not remember that line. Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. I'm getting fired after this. That very computer printed...
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny.
Anyway, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order, order. Be sure to quote what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. I don't know, maybe that was Jack. Who could have erased the data for the other photo?
I heard my name.
I meant Jack Hammer.
Aww. I'm sorry.
No,
have
it's
fun.
fine.
I have fun doing
You-
Jen's voice.
You know that I am playing up the reaction.
I know.
I really don't care much. It's just fun to react in such a visceral way. Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
The camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me.
Can a witness explain this report?
I don't understand this new factor. Edgy boy, help!
Believe me, I want to. But I don't know what this means either.
Like a dog, Edgy.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. You'll float too. Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. The testimony, please.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one more important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
How convenient. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right.
You're supposed to give the prosecution information,
Anyway.
dumbass.
Mr. Wright, please continue the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn of the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Maya looks so dead inside.
She's just absolutely done with you and everyone. She wants to go get the burgers. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Sus.
Now, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. And also to determine if they have any firearms on them.
For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point. Well, who is the heck? Who in the heck was in the photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy.
Oldbag, you might want to look the other way.
Real samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. I don't get it. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second, didn't you say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there is a drain that goes into the employee area. The gate has been loose for a while. Leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you there were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? Why are children called whippersnappers? So in that photo you erased.
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What?
Order! Order! Let me get this straight. So 2 people passed by the gate on the way to studios that day. One was a still samurai who dragged his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in 2nd, 3rd grade.
Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I guess it would be hard, if not possible, to know. I mean, impossible for a young boy to wield a samurai spear.
Possible, I'd say. It's quite heavy.
Except didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
Yeah, already tried to unsuspect him.
would like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and prosecution to consider this new information. And don't forget vital information this time.
Mr. WP?
Yes.
Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio.
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick. What are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that can conceivably have done this.
Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick. It's time.
Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
He's just so sad.
But after D&D today, I can't just.
I mean, he is an actor. That's what the actor life is like.
Yes, just.
Please don't sigh like that.
Court will now recommend the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Here's the next one. We present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter.
Prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other
You are
person who
simple.
went into the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order. Interesting. This here we have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accused innocent. If you accuse someone is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
Who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could commit the murder?
There's only one correct answer here.
Didn't. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai.
We're saying Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You fool. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot.
Oh. Uh-oh, bad feeling time.
Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury?
Prison Bull or Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me.
What about the assistant?
Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped.
Ugh.
That kind of takes the legs out from under that case.
Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I'm paralyzed, as I warned.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Maybe we move on, Mr. Wright.
This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please.
That face just adds so much to it.
Yeah, you're right. There is only one answer. You just didn't pick it.
Very well. Go ahead. So who was the person under Mr. Powers' murder?
Like a 10-year-old kid cannot lift. That's the thing. But
Oh, right, I remember. This is the first case in the game where you aren't shown who the murderer is.
yeah,
It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Who?
Who's Morales?
who's Morales?
The Steel Samurai.
I haven't rewatched Spider-Man. It's been a while.
Yeah, same.
That's been
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they have been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Order. Is this true, oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you.
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would you go through trouble wearing a samurai costume?
Oh shit. Simple, Your Honor.
League of Legends.
For shits and giggles. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. She was in this costume, so she could... If she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. I know it says Sherlock Holmes, but you know.
No, it says Sherlock Holmes. You're right.
Huh?
Pretend it's right.
Okay. That's odd.
The music stopped.
Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection on some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
We left him speechless.
Wow.
Oh, what? What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I get it. I get
What?
it. Because he hates Oldbag. Maybe not.
Or maybe because he's a Steel Samurai fanboy.
Yeah, probably he wouldn't want to have Will Powers because it's the Steel Samurai. He's the Steel Samurai. Nepotism.
Everyone thinks that this is where Edgeworth's character development starts in the first game because of Phoenix. No, it's actually because of Will Powers.
Honestly, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that.
Willing?
Yeah, that was intentional.
Oh, so y'all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way.
Maybe now's my chance to be a big shot.
Oh god.
Persuader? Absolutely.
The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Hey,
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
No, hard feelings.
Hard feelings for Edgeworth. Let's go.
Yes.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
it's only a grade school, though. Oh, I just said, second and third grade, wasn't it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops.
Thoughts, Mr. Wright?
The killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and me to your elders' day? Whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Now she is proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy cannot have committed this murder?
Yes, my attorney's badge.
It says kids don't commit crimes.
Yeah.
For some reason, that had my brain jump to immediately sound like, so I says to him, I says, just, I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Your Honor? League of Legends. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible.
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend the proceedings on a current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness than Miss Wendy. What was her name?
Something oldbag, Your Honor.
He cares so little.
And the prosecution will refer to this holdback before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned.
I don't know why when I first played this case I found all those old bag jokes just hilarious.
Wait a second.
Eesh. But we get the bop.
Oh, that's why I had to wait a second.
I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Mr. Holdback, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
If you must know, there was something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
By whom?
Usually it's me. Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Because, you know, that's usually the case.
It is.
The prosecution is like, ha, keep shush about that.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
What, did she sign an NDA or something?
Mr. Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
If only. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
The judge sounds defeated. So you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it.
Who are these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area. Oh, one lab was in the run. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2.
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. It goes through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, you're ready to proceed to cross-examination.
I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I knew that, silly. So they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
That is bribery. That's illegal.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions of my man. Your Honor?
League of Legends.
League of Honor. We have learned there were other people at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were present. Yet as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare the verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
According now to the defense point, the prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day in proceeding to the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Edgeworth came out of this trial a different man.
Asterisks are usually like a sound effect or something.
Oh yeah, but you know, they had to do something since they didn't have a particularly mischievous sprite for Maya.
Or should I?
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigation. We have to find out more about the director and producer. They'll be turning up the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
That's my chance to do
Now's my chance to be a big shot, Mr. Powers.
so. Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Did it really have that old windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think neither do you. Neither do I, Nick.
Well, yeah, I know. I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. No, don't say that. You start developing empathy.
That's how they get you.
It's gaslighting.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Great. Cut it for now. I am torn.
Hear what?
I am torn. I am tired. So for now, let's cut it off.